I've been asking AI to explain my writing to me. First, here's the passage.
Hobbled men. The women in indifferent conversation toward the rosy laughter of undisciplined children, milled about under the instruction of the cross. Their postured tirelessly above the steeple, for the precision of its shape held the history of 20 centuries in capricious authority. Unaltered, to conform the motions of those below through the narrow passage of the church's old oak door. The more it cut against the wind, the more thrusted urgency pushed. The more sibilant, the less punishing the sky, like numbered figures equating uniformity with beauty. They filed through devotedly, symmetrically.
Now, here's what it said. This passage is a descriptive piece of writing that paints a picture of a scene outside a church. Here's a breakdown of what it means. Hobbled men and women in indifferent conversation are milling about outside the church, seemingly without much purpose or enthusiasm. The sound of undisciplined children laughing is described as rosy, creating a contrast between the joy of the children and the apathy of the adults. The cross atop the steeple is described as postured tirelessly, implying a sense of steadfastness and endurance. The cross has been there for 20 centuries, holding a kind of authority over the people below. The shape of the cross seems to dictate the movements of the people filing into the church, implying a sense of conformity. The phrase, "the more it cut against the wind," suggests that the church's tradition and rituals are steadfast despite external forces trying to disrupt them. The phrase, "the more sibilant," the less punishing the sky, is a bit harder to decipher, but seems to suggest that the more the people conform to the church's traditions, the less harsh the outside world seems. The final sentence describes the people filing into the church in an orderly and symmetrical manner, likening them to numbered figures that equate uniformity with beauty. Overall, the passage seems to be commenting on the enduring power of tradition and conformity, even in the face of external forces or individual desires. The church's shape and rituals have remained unchanged for centuries, shaping the motions and thoughts of those who enter. Here is what a different AI had to say. The paragraph describes a scene where men with disabilities, women engaged in casual conversations, and lively children create a bustling atmosphere. They gather around a cross and the steeple of a church, which stands as a symbol of authority and history spanning 20 centuries. The church's narrow oak door guides their movements. The stronger the wind blows, the more determined they become to move forward. The softer the sound, the less intimidating the sky appears. They move through the church entrance in an orderly and unified manner, like numbered figures, emphasizing conformity and beauty. Then I asked if it was good writing, and it had this to say: "The passage is quite vivid and evocative, using descriptive language to paint a picture of the scene outside the church. However, it can be a bit challenging to follow due to the complexity of the sentences and the use of metaphorical language. Some readers might find it overwhelming or hard to fully understand. Additionally, the meaning or message being conveyed by the passage is not immediately clear. Overall, it's a stylistic and artistic piece of writing that may appeal to some readers, but might not be to everyone's taste. I rate these interpretations as 3.5 out of 5 stars.